It was supposed to be just another night patrol. Security guard Miguel Nascimento, 38 years old, was a veteran in the job. He had worked for over a decade in the underground of the old Roosevelt Station in Sao Paulo, a damp, silent place, taken over by mold, exposed cables, and forgotten tunnels. The place, partially deactivated since the 90s, still housed electrical systems used to power sectors of the city center. For many, it was just a job. But for Miguel, that place seemed to hide something he never knew how to explain. And that night, he went deeper than ever. Records show that Miguel entered the tunnels at 11:12 p.m. He was alone, as usual. He parked his motorcycle near the technical entrance, unlocked the steel gate, and descended with the standard equipment: flashlight, radio, and a helmet with an attached camera, a recent measure after reports of strange occurrences from maintenance workers. The camera had infrared and a sensitive microphone. That night would be the first test. No one imagined what it would actually capture. He passed through the guardhouse, logged his entry, and left no remarks. But his gaze, briefly caught by a security camera, was different, focused, like someone with a purpose. In the first 20 minutes, the video shows Miguel walking calmly. He inspects panels, floor markings, checks the noise level of the old turbines. The camera follows everything: the flickering flashlight beam, the muffled sound of boots stepping. In stagnant water, the echoes that multiply with the slightest noise. Miguel whistles a low tune, maybe to ward off fear. When he reaches a fork leading to the east wing, he stops and mutters, that shadow again. The tone isn't one of surprise, but of confirmation. The phrase is spoken with the naturalness of someone who had seen it before. He slowly turns his body, shines the light into the right tunnel. And there it is, a still dark figure. No face, no movement. But it's there. He takes 2 steps toward the silhouette, and the light flickers. When the flashlight steadies, the figure is gone. Miguel mutters a soft curse, takes a deep breath, and moves forward. His eyes stay fixed on the end of the tunnel. The tension is palpable. For the first time, the camera captures his hand trembling. At 11:47 p.m., the radio crackles with static. A whispered voice is caught for less than 2 seconds. Indistinct, but sharp enough to disturb. Miguel tries to respond. Central, this is 0 for 2. Do you copy? But there's no answer. He repeats the message twice, changes frequency. Nothing. It's as if the radio is cut off from all contact. He checks the equipment. Everything looks fine. But the silence from then on wasn't just technical. It was something more. Dense, almost tangible. Even the echoes sounded less distinct. At 11:52 p.m., the camera shakes with a sudden movement. Miguel turns around quickly. Something metallic had fallen behind him, but when he shines the light, there's nothing on the floor. The audio captures his breathing growing faster. He spins in circles, as if surrounded by invisible presences. He raises the radio again, tries calling for help. No response. Then his voice drops, falters, and carries genuine fear. Is someone down here? It's as if he already knew the answer. He just didn't want to hear it. The answer comes in dry knocks on the left wall. 3. Pause. 2. Pause. 1. The pattern is so unusual that he hesitates to move. It feels like a communication attempt. Miguel takes 2 steps back. The camera zooms in on his wide eyes. He looks at the ceiling, to the sides, to the floor, as if expecting to see someone crawling. But the tunnel is empty. At least apparently. The air gets heavier. He starts to sweat, wipes his forehead with his sleeve, whispering to himself that he needs to get out of there. 12:03 a.m. Miguel pulls out his phone and records a voice message. He starts with a trembling tone, almost as if in panic. If someone finds this, please listen to it all. There's something here, something that followed me. I saw eyes, and I swear to God, it was mimicking me. Every step I took, it did the same, but at the wrong time. Like a sick echo, he cancels the send. Maybe he thought no one would believe him. Or maybe because he didn't want anyone else to hear it. Forensic analysis of the recording revealed disturbing details. In the background, there's a rhythmic sound of footsteps, but the pattern doesn't match Miguel's. They happen at the same time, but in the opposite direction. It's as if two people were walking together in reversed sync. Experts isolated the audio and discovered the sounds came from less than 2 meters away. But the camera shows no one, no shadow, no figure, just emptiness and sounds that defy physical logic. At 12:12 a.m., Miguel reaches an old rusty steel door locked with heavy chains. It was the entrance to the abandoned wing since a collapse in 1998. Officially, no one had entered there for years, but something seems to move on the other side. The video captures a scraping sound like nails tearing at steel. He turns back, tries to leave, but freezes, looks at the floor dazed. The camera captures his trembling feet. He whispers, "I'm trapped here," as if he finally understood. That night would be his last. At that moment, the video glitches. The image shakes, fails, and goes black for 4 seconds. When it returns, Miguel is gone. Only the helmet keeps recording, fallen to the floor. The flashlight still on, pointing at the wall. The microphone records. Heavy breathing, but it's not human. It's deep wet, as if something were exhaling from the concrete itself. Then, a muffled voice whispers, "You shouldn't have come back." That voice haunted the dreams of those who watched the footage. One technician refused to continue working on it. Miguel was never found. No trace of blood, scratches, dragging. Nothing. Just the helmet with the intact camera. Forensics confirmed. No cuts, no digital interference. Just an unexplainable disappearance, as if he had been erased from space. A presence in the tunnels that left no trace, only questions. And a video that should never have existed. An unofficial report was drafted by a retired military specialist. He suggested the case could be related to electromagnetic anomalies, known in only 2 places in the world. The case was silenced by the transport company. The footage was not released to the public, but people involved in the internal analysis described the material as traumatizing. A technician revealed that, in slow motion, it's possible to see a translucent blur emerging from the wall and hovering behind Miguel before the blackout. The entity, if it can be called, that didn't seem physical. It vibrated, as if it existed on another frequency. Some say it's a shadow, others a rift. Since that night, the East Wing was completely sealed with reinforced concrete. But that didn't stop new reports. Maintenance operators swear they hear coded knocks on the walls. One engineer reported seeing, on her security feed, a shadow, mimicking her movements exactly 3 seconds later. Miguel's family held vigil at the site for weeks. His mother, in an interview, said, "My son saw something, and because of that, he was taken. No one could prove otherwise." On certain nights, footsteps are still heard, and with them, The same phrase, "Is someone down here?" Today, the disappearance of Miguel Nascimento is filed as a Class C anomalous event, a category used when there's no plausible explanation, but material evidence exists. Many believe Miguel had already been touched by it before. That he went back to understand what he saw the first time. But some truths were never meant to be discovered. Some doors should remain locked. And now, all we have left is the recording. Would you dare watch until the end?